what is the team dynamics, under that how the teams are performing, and what kind of cohesiveness bonding should be required between the team members. Now this class I'm going to be continue on that. If you want to become a good team member or an active member in the team, so what kind of qualities you should have at least, so that your team will be a grand success to participate in many more events. A good team member, first of all, he should be a good listener. He has to listen many voices from subordinates, from the co-team member, from the leader, or from the environment, or from the competitors. Anywhere, he has to listen about both the positive and as well as negative, so that he will be able to understand who is giving an accurate information and who is giving fake information, up to what level I can able to trust the information which are all given by the people. So first you should be a very good listener about what they are talking about that. Second one, be honest and open mind. You should not be like a biased with any one person or somebody's statement. You should be very, very honest about your work. Whenever you are honest about your work, ultimately what will happen? Other team members will have a trust on you, and these member will never ever do any kind of mischief. He is very serious and honest about whatever the work we are assigned to do. Even if you don't know the information also, the moment you assign the work, he knows that how to collect the information, how to coordinate by the entire team. So, honest person, that is a gold medal for the employees at the organization. That is the reason most of the companies, even the employees are semi-skilled and they are honest about their work, and they never tell that any lies. Ultimately, what will happen? Management will like them. These people are really, their performance is really well and good. So we require these kind of people for our institutional development. Third one, accept other people needs. Other people in the sense of who are all other teammates. You cannot able to say like the boss was assigned this work to me and I will be focusing only on this work and I will never ever help you. But you have to remember one thing, you are living with the team members such a long time, like 8 to 10 hours of duration by 365 days. So definitely you will be having a need with them. If the people are having an individual mindset, then team cannot be grown up. When the people are exchanging their ideas, when the people are fulfilling their needs or helping together, so that other team members will be having a trust on that we are in a safe hand. Even if I'm not present over there, my team members are there, will ready to help me. So we need to be fulfill other employees or other team members' needs also. Vice versa, whenever you are also required any need or by the assistance, definitely people are there ready to help you. So we have to accept, we need to take it. It's just like a give and take policy. Next, don't be negative. So most of the time what people will do is like they will have a negative attitude. From the beginning of this subject, I'm telling you, if two or three people are gathered as a team, we can able to find out any one person will have negative thoughts, negative opinions, or with negative feelings. Now, because of these negative feelings, what it will happen is they are going to collapse by the entire team. So we need to be we need to be very clear on that. Whenever whoever having by the negative feelings or by the negative mindset, We need to motivate them, convert them. They are our team members. They are helping for us for ours only, and they are helping for development of our team only. So why should we have this kind of controversies? Help them, so that ultimately what will happen, the negative mind or the negative attitude people also slowly they will start to think, and this crowd of people are thinking and doing about positive things only. Why I'm behaving like this, and what I'm going to gain because of these negative attitudes. So ultimately the team member will be realized, so you should not be have any kind of negative thoughts in your mind. Next one, don't be defensive. As you heard that offensive and defensive. Even a small issue comes, what people will do, they will try to create some sort of conflict. And people will wait for the moment how we need to create the problem, so that they will be sitting on somewhere and they will be watching and enjoying it. So you should try to avoid those kind of mindset. Even if anybody is harmful to you, don't be quiet, and you are having your own right to raise your voice, and you can able to convey the message to them, this is offensive or by the defensive. So relatively people will be decide what is right or what is wrong with them. Next, learn to take the initiatives. Most of the time, what people will do is they never ever take any kind of initiative activities, because when the moment you are taking the initiative activities, A to Z you need to be handling, and other team members they will try to escape. Okay, you only take that lead, so you are supposed to do. But what we team members has to do is, the moment somebody has taken that initiative, we need to appreciate them, and we need to assistance to them, so that only in future we are going to see many more people will take that initiatives for the success of the team, or by the team spirit they will take for the next level. So if you following all these things, both soft and as well as helpful nature, then definitely you will able to see that your team in a very good position. Now, in the continuation of that, a good team members now just now become more sensitive to the different ways of people communicate, because everybody will not have same kind of mindset at the organization. Some people having the thick skins, like even if you are saying or if you are giving any kind of information, they won't be respond so easily. So being a leader, you should know that how to get work from them, so that ultimately what will happen, other members will be comfortable, because one employee will come to the organization or will come to the team regularly late, and his work performance also not up to the mark. So because of n number of setbacks, the moment you identify, you will be decide how to handle with these kind of team members. You conveyed message to him in a polite way, because all the team members are earning money, so nobody is giving that free of service. Because of you are not performing your task, other people task is going to be pending, or they are also not in a position to complete it. In many ways we like other employees or other team members are facing the problem. So many ways we are trying to communicate information to the different ways of different kinds of different natures of the people. How we need to convey the message to them, we will convey, and relatively we are extracting work from them. Risk is risk. Whenever you are started to take the risk, then you are going to see many more future growths. There is a famous quote, in finance. Where there is a high risk, you will expect high returns. Where there is a low risk, financially low returns. The moment you are taking that high risk factor, ultimately you are going to see a different environment where the diamond, how it is going to face different hits, and finally that will be more value, precious, one of the resource. Here also, the moment when you take that much more risk factor, you will be shying yourself. And even risk is going to give you, or risk will be guiding you different situations. That is the reason many employees, with the moment when they join the organization, they are ready to face the risk factor. It is just like both the side of thinking, positive and as well as negative. Positive means I want to take this task as a challenging way. At any cost, I need to be completed. In negative, in negative also they will be taking it as a positive. So this is the best chance for me to face the risk. Even if any loss comes, I'm not only facing the losses, the entire organization is going to face it. But I have an opportunity to take the challenge. So in that way also, they will be take that risk factors to see about the success. Next, see the uniqueness in each team member. If everybody is having same kind of work performance, same kind of talent, that should not be required, because we require a multiple dimension, multiple combinations. Even if you see example of any industry or any company, n number of departments: production, operations, sales, marketing, finance, HR, quality inspection. So why all these departments? Because every department, every member will have unique kind of styles, unique kind of working natures. The moment unique members are different skilled people, when they are involving in this kind of grouping activity, then ultimately which is going to be like a greatest benefit for the whole organization. So each team will be contributing their efficiency so that the company will be achieving by their targets. Then last one, be trusting of yourself and responsible. Whoever assigned any work to you, you need to be perform the particular task by trusting yourself, and as well as you need to be adjudicate, justify whoever assigned work to you, and you never take it as irresponsible. Take it as a responsible, complete the particular task within the stipulated time, so that they will be very very happy, because I have chosen a right employee, I have chosen a right team member, and accordingly that he is going to complete by the task. So they will be also to be very very happy. Next, what are the benefits if you are joined in a team? Mostly we will say like teamwork. So how this teamwork will be benefited for the whole team, or team members, and or for the whole society. Whereas the moment you are joining in the team, you should be understand this is a realistic environment. Everybody will have their individual responsibilities, individual goals, individual powers, and all these things you need to be used for the sake of grand success of your team. If you are not using your powers for the success of the team, then what is the use of joining in the team? So in the realistic futures, you are performing, and as well as you are continuously achieving your goals, whatever the work was assigned by the team leader, or whatever the target was given by the team leader, and within stipulated time, he has given target to you like a short term and as well as long term. Like within a week you need to complete this task. You are completing within 6 days, or sometime 1 week, or sometime 10 days also. But you are going to complete the goal even in the long term also, like 3 months project or 1 year project, and that is also you are completing within 4 months or by the 13 months. So ultimately, the entire team is going to enjoy your success. So achievable goals also one of the important component, and realistic and achievable goals can be established for the team and individual members. Every time you are doing your work, but you never achieve any goals, objectives, or by the target. Even the new members also, before entering into your team, they will request, no, I don't want to join the team, because the people will never realize that why we are not reaching our goals, what are our failures, they are not realizing, and they are not taking any initiative for why we are failure in the context. So if I join those kind of teams, then definitely my performance will be weak. So I don't want to join. So there is a scope of to go as a negative vibration about your team. So everybody, they have their individual targets and relatively they need to be complete. Next, team members commit to support to each and everyone. Individually you can able to do it, but the problem is time and coordination is very difficult for you. And everybody having the caliber to performing the task, but time we don't have. Even when you see an example like Excel sheet versus Google sheet. So in the Excel sheet, what we can do, we can do our work and then we can share with the somebody, and they will also do their work. So like that 10 people we can share after completion of work by one. Whereas in the Google sheet, same time 10 members can work in simultaneously. We are dividing A to X can be handled by one person. Next Y2, next like AA or AB will be handled by another person. So like that we are divided the work, and 10 people they were sitting and they are opening by the same Google sheet, and the same half an hour they are going to complete by the task. Instead of you are allotting 10 hours time in Excel sheet, Google sheet, 10 people are working simultaneously and half an hour they are completing. So here also, the team member they should have a strong commitment, support from each and everyone. The entire team or the entire team members, if they are sharing their work or supportively they are performing their duty, and then relatively we can able to see the greater performance of the teams. Next, team members understand one another priorities. So most of the time, people will ignore about these kind of fundamental concepts. The moment you are pressurizing your team members, you need to be understand very clearly. For example, in the team we are having ladies and as well as gents. So ladies, ladies they need to manage two world. One is personal and second one is professional. They need to fulfill all the priorities at the house, which is maybe like a sweeping or cleaning of the houses, or kitchen related, or by the vegetables related, or different kind of components. Once they fulfilled all these things, and then they will come back to the business world. So sometimes what will happen, the business work they are unable to complete it by the on the time. So we are carrying the same work at the house. So the moment you are you are unable to manage your personal life and as well as by the professional life because of too much of work, the business work you are doing at your houses. So there is a problem of, or there is some kind of disturbance in your personal life. If a team manager is able to understand these kind of problems are there for the family woman or by the one employee in my team, he can share rest of work with somebody so that she will able to manage by the personal life and as well as by the professional life. Say they have given too much of work for one gentleman. Now, as we know that your father is a family head, he need to earn income. He need to food. He need to serve food for the whole family. So, if in case his professional life is unable to bear it, or so much of work pressure, the moment he come to your house, you need to welcome him and you need to give some sort of space. So are you okay? Are you mentally okay? Or still you are having any kind of work? So we can leave you. So you can able to perform your duty. We don't want to bring any silly things to the father notice because he is busy with his professional life, and because of that, what will happen is mentally he will be pressurized, and finally he will say like, can't you able to manage these kind of small things or petty things also? So what I want to tell you, like the team members, they need to understand about one to another one priorities. So most of the time I will give the example to some of my friends also. Somebody is giving 75,000 salary and you are getting very low salary, because this is a routine example for me. It was happened to me also. I'm getting low salary, but one of my friend being a MBBS MD doctor, and another friend is like a IT professional. So as we know that IT professionals are getting very good salary. So my parents also will compare. You are getting low salary when compared to the IT professional. So I used to tell my parents also, even IT professionals are getting higher salary. How much you are getting extra than me? 20,000 or 30,000? Okay, fine. Now you are getting extra 30,000 salary than me. So 30,000 you can multiply with 1 year. So how much you are earning extra than me? It is just like 3.5 to 4 lakhs you are earning. Now because of these 3.5 and 4 lakhs, you are facing so much of pressure. Now this pressure, ultimately what will happen? We will bear it by 6 months or by the 1 year. We cannot able to hold such a long time. The moment you are trying to bear it such a long time, ultimately what will happen? Mentally and health wise you will become sick. Whatever the amount you have saved for 3 lakhs per year, and you need to spend whenever you met the doctor for an operation or some other treatment purpose, you need to spend lakhs of rupees. So instead of spending huge quantity of amount by at a time to the doctor, so instead of that, I don't want to bear any kind of pressure. I don't want to hold it anything. Even I'm getting low salary, I'm going to be very very comfortable. I need less pressure. So pressure is important to me. But the moment the boss, when they are assigning the task to one to another person, they need to be understand what are the priorities of the people. According to their request, we need to consider them and we need to distribute our sharing of the work. Next fourth point, which is deal on that, communication is open. So open communication. Whenever you are joining in a team, many people what they will do is grapevine communication, miscommunication, or they will talk ill about somebody else. So ultimately, what will happen? This will take more time to discussed about by the employees when compared to the real time work which was assigned to you. So communication, it has to be all the time open to each and everyone, and then only you will be able to see by the results. Otherwise, which is going to be like a difficult and challenging for each and everyone. How you will give the open communication? Anything I will talk transparency with the employee or by the leader. I should not hide any kind of information. Immediately, the moment when I share the information, people will be realize on that. Next, problem solving is more effective. You are the moment working in the team, you should be very strong enough on that problem solving. If in case you are weak in that problem solving, so what you can do, you can approach to your higher officials or by your colleagues, and colleagues will be guide you, will be assisting you in a better way, that you are not in a position to think about these dimensions. If you would have think all these things, then definitely this will take you for the better understanding. In simple, you are unable to take the decision. Being a team members, we are thinking about the same issue and we are guiding you take this decision. So when you are in a pathetic situation or when you are in a crucial situation, when you are unable to take the decision, by that time your team members will guide you in a more effective way how to take by the decisions. So that is one benefit we'll get by the all the team members. Next, performance feedback is more meaningful all the time, because we are working in every time with a multiple task. Whenever you are working in a multiple task, whether are you performing all the task by effectively or not, how you will be knowing that? I will be came to know with the help of by the strong feedback. Feedback is a representation of your performed work, whether good, bad, or the average, or in the feedback you got some sort of suggestions for the betterment of your work, and relatively you need to do the style of work in the future. So when you are updating yourself, when you are correcting yourself, the way of doing your work, then ultimately what will happen? Your work will be a succeed work. You will be seeing much more betterments in the future. Next, conflict is understood as normal. Now we are also seeing in our family, even small things also, some family members are they are making as a very big issue. Even we have seen many movies, mother-in-law versus sister-in-law, or by the, yeah, mostly mother-in-law versus sister-in-law. We are going to see these kind of conversations. Even small thing was happen negative, and they will make it as a big issue, or they will make it as, or they will be elevating as a, see, achieved like anything marvelous task has been done. So the moment you are entering into the team, you please understand rumors, disputes, conflicts, misunderstanding, mischief, all these things will be involved. And also you can find out many more examples from the Bollywood movies. Every day we are seeing one separate page for the film actor and actresses. Today she fall in love with one person and tomorrow she is going to marry somebody, and within a year divorce, and again she is going to love somebody. And one gentleman, he loved that 4 5 heroines, and still he is bachelor. So whenever the rumors comes, whether it's a positive or negative, they won't respond. because the moment they start to respond, they need to answer by all the queries. So when they ignore, then ultimately that rumor will come and go off. So conflicts and misunderstandings also very very normal in the team. You just ignore, understood. First of all, you just understood whether how far this is true. But there's a false statement, then you can strongly give that left and right, or else you just give a simple comment on that. So you need to be understand about what kind of environment we are working. So that is very frequently we will call it as a experience. Your experience is guru to you. Your experience only will guide you in a better way to understand about the problems. Next one, the team is recognized for outstanding results. Instead of comparison of a single person's work, it cannot be elevate much more results. Even you are performing in highly and very repetitive work, but your scope will be very very narrow. Example, you can see like the types of business organization. We are talking about sole trading, business partnership, or you can talk about the companies and joint stock. Now, the moment if you see that top 10 or top 100 billionaires, they are came from company background. Of course, they are also started their business by sole trading or by the individual, but that is the growth levels. Growth levels are very very low or by the less. But after certain duration, you will be able to understand broader, broader, what we say, like the broader way of results. Your team efforts will be recognized rather than an individual person work. So, if any team is recognized only by with the help of by the results how you have given, the results are positive or by the negative. We are also seeing every quarterly or by the half-yearly, yearly results of the company, like 1 lakh crore or 10,000 crores of profit we got it. So whether this is really good for the company, yes, we are. This is going to be indicating to us we are in a positive direction. We are getting by the very good returns. So in future also we are going to be continuing about by the in a best way. So being a team member's point of view, what they will think like all my decisions are right, correct, suitable for the current environment. So that only I am getting that an outstanding result of profit, of sales, or the generation of the income. He will be correlate his ideas with what is the return. Next, members are encouraged to test their abilities and try out their ideas. So very beginning also I told you this is an opportunity for you to learn the new things because this is not your team, this is not your organization. Being a team member, you are joined here and you are having a number of opportunities to learn by the new things. If anything loss, maximum loss for you is you will be sacked from the institution or terminate from the institution. But apart from that, you will be getting much more experience. Apart from that, you will be able to understand where you did the mistake. In future, same kind of work or task comes, you know very well how to manage it or by the how to handle it. So that kind of abilities, ideas, you will be able to get it from the team management. Next, team members recognize the importance of discipline and work habit. Being an associate professor where I'm working, this is going to be holistic place for me because I'm serving and as well as relatively I'm earning money here. Whereas tomorrow you are also joining different companies. Now you need to be understand your boss is paying salaries to you. Your boss is giving work to you. When You are earning salary, you need to be work for them. So members, they are encouraged if you want to test about your abilities. So how you will able to test your abilities? They will assign a project or they will assign a task to you. You need to complete it. So they will understood like, okay, this is the task which we have given to the earlier another employee. When compared to earlier employee, you have completed much more earlier with 100% accurate. So I will have some kind of ability on you. Okay, you will be able to lead or you will able to manage by next level of task also. So ultimately, what will happen? The leader will have a trust on you. You are a skilled person. You are a skilled laborer or the employee in my team. They will understand. So this is an area where you will able to learn by the things, and you need to be considered. This is a holistic place where you need to follow by good habits. Even we are also seeing when you go for any factory or a visit, they will tell you these are the safety and precautionary measures, and then you need to do your work. So if you are following the safety measures, what will happen? It is a loss for the company. Any kind of fire accident or any kind of things will be happen. This is not only loss for you, the whole team, the whole organization. So the work habits you need to be follow or to be encouraging very effectively. Next, learn to work learn to work effectively as a team in one unit is good preparation to working as a team with the unit. So most of the time what we supposed to do is effectively we need to be work in a team, and we need to be preparing. This is the work schedule. We have been prepared and relatively we are performing by the task. Okay guys, before I would like to continue with further more slides. I would like to screen with you a video which is going to be talking on the team process. So team process with reference to many other companies. But anyway, here I'm giving you that a brief introduction about software companies. So in the software company, how they will performing by the process.
To the next topic, that is a team software process. So in the previous video I explained about the personal software process. So if you're dealing the software process, if you want to develop a product or a process, the software process, what are the personal way of solving the problem, the personal software process? In the same way, just see the team software process. So the team software process along with PSP helps the high performance engineers. So always, if you follow the person who is implementing the project or a process, they have to follow PSP and TSP, PSP and TSP, personal software process, and the team software process helps the high performance engineers to ensure quality of software product, to ensure quality software product, and next to create secure software product, to create not only the quality, they'll think about the security also, secure software product, and to improve process management in an organization. Ensure, create, and improve process management in an organization. So if you want to if you want to ensure a quality software product, if you need the quality software product, if you need the secure software product, if you need to improve the process management in an organization, so then they have to follow the personal software process and the team software process. If they follow these both, if you take the help of these both technologies, then they can ensure quality software product, create secure software product, and improves process management in an organization. So any engineer, if they want to reach the high performance product, they have to follow the personal software process techniques and as well as team software process technique. Now let us see what are the frame activities that are involved in the team software.
So you just understand here, she has given that equal preference for your individual aspects and as well as to the team. But the beauty is here, the individual aspect should not be isolated or by the something different than the team process. When your process is relevant to the team process, then that is going to be really benefit for the company. So that they used to tell like your personal softwares or personal quality products that has to be linked up with the uh, team kind of process.
TSP frame work activities. So what are the TSP? Team software process activities. So the activities in the team software processor, first they had to launch high level design. Launch high level design. Okay, and next they have to implement, means the team framework is following this hierarchy. First launching high level design, next implementation, and next integration. So after in the implementation, they will follow the unit process, means they are divide the complete the team, different teams will take different modules. So after completion of the each module in different teams, those modules, those units will be taken and integrated. That is done in integration. Implementation, integrations. After integration, they will go for the final test. And next is the post-mortem, means the final delivery of the product, so with checking all the errors. So these are the activities that are involved in the team software process. So you have to know, think while if you want to write that about the team software process, the name itself is indicating it is a team, a group of people, a group of teams are working on some software process. So if they
So I hope you will able to understood that what is the context you want to convey to us. So the entire process was prepared, doing and more effectively by the team members only, so that the effort or the results will be enjoyed by the whole team members. So in the team process, when it comes to the PPT, in the team process, we are broadly split up to the three important components, which is focusing on transaction process, action process, and interpersonal process. So we'll give you a filmy style example. If somebody want to do a robbery, so what they will do is they will have their own plan. They want to do robbery at the bank. So first what they're supposed to do, they will allocate the team members what they're supposed to do. So one particular team, what is your duty is you need to watch the entire bank. You need to cut the power supply. You need to cut the local telephone facilities or by the signal jammers. So this is has to taken care of by the one team. And second team, they will enter into the bank and they will do the robbery. And before that, 2 or 3 days before they will do that, they will inquire about the bank and as well as they will do the picking. So relatively, they know very well where the cash, whether it is say box or where it is and who is having powers to go inside. So they will collect all this information. And the third team, what they will do is they will plan for escape. So one particular task in a filmy style, they are split up into two, three parts, and relatively they will be what each and every team. Now here also, if you want to success your team, the entire process were split up to the three parts: transition, action, intrapersonal process. Now transition. So in the transition also again we are talking about mission analysis, goal specifications, strategy formulation, and then relatively they will success about by the first part of the duty. So what is transition process? In the name itself they mentioned very clearly, and here we are doing only transactions. It is just like distribution of the work for each and every member. So in this phase, the team is formed and activities are also allotted to them. And the first one is mission analysis. So in the mission analysis, they will talk about what is our ultimate objective. We are going for a bank robbery, and I gathered the information that 50 crores, 75 crores are there at the bank. So robbery, and relatively we need to get the cash of 75 crores as a filmy style so that you will be able to understand it very easily. So the moment you know about the objectives and relatively you will be ready mentally what kind of consequences you are going to face if it is failed. Then next, goal specification. So in the goal specification, we are identifying what we supposed to do and relatively we are prioritizing. These are the activities we need to do. And each and every activity related, what is the mission? So what they will do, they will call the whole 10 members, 3 members. What is your plan of action? So what do you think? How you need to do your task? So these three people will come up with the one idea, and relatively they will have a discussion with the whole members, so that any corrections or anything, any clarification was missing, they will have a discussion and relatively will be performed it. Next, strategy formulation. So in the point of the strategy formulation, they are developing a course of action. So in the course of action, like the course of the goals are relatively will it able to reach it, or when we are making our transaction, if in case any unexpected things are happen, how we need to be handled. So do we have any kind of codes, or do we have any kind of plan B action? So these kind of things also we need to be observed in the transaction process. Next, second point, which is talking on the action process. So in the point of the action process, which is going to be very clearly mentioned about team performance. Now the entire activity we have split up to the different team members. Now relatively how they are going to be performed, like monitoring milestones and the goals, monitoring about the whole system, coordination, team monitoring and support. So generally the monitoring systems or the milestones of the goals will be prepared by only one person, which is going to be called as a team leader. Even in the company point of view, we will call him as a chairman or managing director or the founder, whoever it is. They are having by different goals, and relatively whether other members are doing their work or not. Many people said everybody should require their own goal. If you don't have goal, people will hire you to fulfill their goals. Being an MBA graduate, I should have some sort of goals. If I don't have goals, I'm going to fulfill about the chairman goals. Relatively, I'm going to get my salary. So everybody should have some kind of goals, objectives, and relatively we need to be complete the all the tasks and activities. Whereas in the monitoring system also, we are tracking the use of the resources such as people, technology, and information. So if you want to complete by the particular task which are all assigned to you, for that relatively you should have a proper technology, information, and you have to be coordinate with the other team members, and then only you will able to complete by the task. Otherwise it cannot be complete. Again, that is going to be like a big mess up to you. Next, coordination. So what kind of coordination? Team members are mutually, they should understand what is the task or what is the work has assigned to the each and every member, so that they will be getting ready. If in case I require any kind of information, I can directly talk to those people, because when we have a discussion on that time, I came to know that what is the duty and responsibility of the each and every team member. So whenever I require any information, by that time definitely I'm going to interact with you only, not by somebody else. So who is handling this issue? So I need the assistance. So this is like a three type or three way of the communication, which is going to be like a another challenging task for the people. Next, team monitoring support. So in the point of the team monitoring support, we are going to be assessing about what is the task we have given for each and every individual, and relatively what is the depth of the task. So whether are they able to fulfill by the particular task, and what is the feedback of the those concerned team members? Because you have given me a challenging task, so I don't know whether I'm going to be justified or not. So these kind of negative shades also will be having in the minds of the team members. But being a team leader, what you're supposed to do is you need to motivate them by giving a positive feedback, or you need to guide them, or you need to be some sort of coach, so that only they will be mold and they will be strengthened that about the task what we have assigned to those people. Next, interpersonal process. So in the point of the interpersonal process, whereas including of the conflict management, this is all the time challenging task. People are coming with different silly tasks, so we cannot able to resolve. Sometimes what the team leader will do that ignoring, and he will be take a stringent action on by those aspects. So in the conflict management, like disagreement resolving, so they won't agree with one person to another person. I won't work with him. I need somebody else, or he's not coordinating with me, or he's not the friendly person. So his attitude is something different. So many other conflicts will be arising in the conflict management. Second one, motivation and confidence building. So when you are talking about motivation or the confidence, you should be understand and what is the level of motivation, or will they require any is there required any kind of willingnesses or any kind of individual task we can give it to them, or why the people are doing like this. So they will be gathering a full-fledged information about by the members, and relatively they will be performing. And then next, effect management. So in the effect management, which is going to be deal or talking on that the emotions. So the emotions of the people. So how emotionally you are working, and how closely you are connected with the people, and what is the benefit you are going to get by because of by joining this team. So this is what we are having, and the same context related we are having a small AV which is going to be dealing on that the team spirit, how they need to be increased. So the video was sponsored by TEDx. Now we'll see, according to the TEDx, what they were conveying about the team process, and as well as how they are going to creating the bondness between the team members.
If you remember that IPL team which had Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers and Chris Gale, yeah, they were the Royal Challengers Bangalore. They had three of the finest T20 players. And how many championships did they win? None. And you probably remember that other IPL team whose opener was a man called Swapnil Asnodkar from Goa, more famous for football and Feni, whose best batsman was a Pathan, whose brother was actually the more famous India player, and whose captain was a retired Australian leg spinner, more famous at that time for, okay, we'll let that pass. Yeah. Remember who they were? The Rajasthan Royals. And if you remember, they went on to win the inaugural IPL. Okay? It's interesting. The joke in those days used to be that if you were walking on the streets in Jaipur and you had a cricket kit bag on your shoulder, you had to be very careful because they might catch you and put you in the team. What is it about some teams that they end up winning? What's the secret of winning teams? What's the secret sauce that unleashes the magic of teamwork? What can you and I and all of us learn which can allow us to build our own winning teams? I discovered some clues to unraveling this secret a few years ago, quite by chance. I remember it was August 24th, 2008. My wife and I were driving out to a friend's place for lunch in Mumbai. And as we went out, we saw something that day which almost magically seemed to tell us this is what great teamwork is all about. And what I want to do today is to try and share with you what we saw that day, a team in action. So let's take a quick look, a 30-second look at what we saw that day. So as you probably figured, this was the Dahi Handi, and August 24, 2008 was Janmashtami. And the Dahi Handi is what happens every year on Krishna's birthday. And for those of you who may not be entirely familiar with the Dahi Handi, let me try and quickly explain what happens. You might recall that Krishna, as a little boy, was very fond of butter. But his mom obviously read too much on the internet to know it wasn't good for his health. So what she did was to take the butter in a pot and keep it high up out of Krishna's reach. But Krishna, smart boy that he was, got all his friends to come together and form a pyramid, and he'd climb on top of that pyramid and steal the butter. The Dahi Handi is really a modern day recreation of that act, and the Govindas really double up as Krishna's friends. The Dahi Handi, as I discovered that day, can actually teach all of us several lessons in what it takes to build a winning team. I've been fascinated by this idea of what is it that makes some teams win? What is it that makes some teams punch above their weight and come out winning? And equally, why does it happen that some teams have all the stars and yet don't end up winning? And as I looked at the Dahi Handi that day, the Dahi Handi seemed to look back at me and say, here's everything you always wanted to know about winning teams and didn't know whom to ask. So here then are 8 lessons from the Dahi Handi, lessons that can help all of us become better leaders, better team players, and build our own winning teams. So here then is lesson number 1. Make sure that there's one common goal and it's visible to everybody. as you might find in the Dahi Handi, the person at the top knows that the Dahi Handi is what he needs to break, but he also makes sure that everybody in the pyramid, the people at the bottom of the pyramid, also know why they are here. They can all see that it's the Dahi Handi that they're here to break. Good leaders have this ability to share a vision with the rest of the team, which allows everyone to know what's the goal that they are after. There's something else that's important. Good teams ensure that everybody is aligned around one common goal. Now, you cannot have a situation where the entire Dahi Handi pyramid is saying, we are here to break the Dahi Handi, and one bunch of people says, no, we want the Nimbu in the corner there. Yeah? Just won't work. And strange as it might sound, this often happens in teams and in organizations. You've got the entire organization gunning for one goal, and one function or one division will decide, no, it's the lemon that we really want in our lives. Just won't work. Lesson number 2, trust your teammates to do their jobs. Unfortunately for most of us, what happens is that we are all very good at doing somebody else's job. So we are constantly checking, questioning, doubting what they are up to. Okay? We all seem to think that we are the only ones in the organization who care for the success of our team. Not true. Look at these guys in the Dahi Handi. There are these guys at the bottom whose job is to stand firm. They just stand still and allow people to climb up on top. Okay? They don't move. But if they were like most other teams, imagine what would happen if, after standing still for some time, they say, hey, how are you guys doing there? And equally, there is this little fellow whose job is to climb to the top. And he must just ensure that he's quickly climbing up and getting to the top. He can't be looking down nervously all the time and saying, I hope you're holding on tight, I don't want to fall. Yeah? Great teams learn to trust each other. Trust is truly the foundation of a good team, of a winning team. Lesson number 3, okay? Good teams aren't scared of failure. Winning teams don't get fazed by failure. They stick with it. As these Govindas are trying to come together and form the pyramid, it will happen that sometimes they will tumble and fall. Okay? And when that happens, they don't say, oh my goodness, this is very dangerous. Let's stop this and play kabaddi instead. They won't do that. Great teams stick with it. These guys will come back and say, hey, let's try and learn from what we did. Let's try and learn from our mistakes. Let's try and learn from our failures. Let's come back and try again. Fail again, try again. Fail one more time, try one more time. Lesson number 4, and this one is really for all you young leaders out here. Once the Dahi Handi is broken, the man whose picture will appear in the papers the next day is the guy at the top. But even he knows that he's on top because someone else has lent him their shoulders to stand on. Okay? Learn to respect those shoulders. We may not realize it at all times, but we are all dependent on other people for our success. We owe our success to other people. It could be, it could be an assistant in the office. It could be that kindergarten teacher in Jaipur. It could be that salesman in Salem. It could be a data entry operator somewhere. But these are the people who help us look good as leaders. Okay? Become the kind of person who respects those people. Become the kind of person who respects the shoulders you stand on. In fact, you should try and become a team which learns to respect its foot soldiers, those ordinary men and women who do all the hard work day in and day out to make all of us look good and stand tall. Okay? Respect the shoulders. Some of us will feel that, wow, we've arrived in life, we are on top of the world, we are the leaders. Good idea then to remember, respect the shoulders you stand on. Lesson number 5. As the Dahi Handi is getting formed, something interesting happens. Do you know what the women who were standing in the balconies in the buildings close by do? They take buckets of water and start to throw it at the people, at the Govindas who are forming the Dahi Handi. Okay? They're hoping that that water will make them slip and fall. And as it often happens, some of them will slip and fall. And when that happens, the Govindas don't stop and say, excuse me, madam, this is an unfair trade practice under section 134C of the Indian Penal Code. No, they don't do that. They just say, hey, let them have their fun. Our job is to stay focused on our goal, which is to break the Dahi Handi. Okay? There will be controversies, there will be some event, there will be some people who will try and spoil your plans as a team. Okay? Don't allow the entire team to get distracted by minor irritants. Someone will take care of it, but you, as a team, your job will remain to stay focused on your goal. And if your goal is to break the Dahi Handi, just stay focused on ensuring that happens. And that brings me to lesson number 6. And this is an equation, a formula I want you to remember. A greater than R. Make sure that your A, your ambition, is bigger than your R, your resources. Magic happens when teams set themselves goals which are just out of reach, which are just above what anybody might have thought they can actually achieve. What happens for many of us is that we have a very poor view of our own resources. We have a very poor view of our own abilities. We doubt our own strengths. And when that happens, we tend to reduce the size of our ambition. We make our goals smaller. We begin to think small. Change that. Think big. Dream big. Aim high. Because when you aim high, what will happen is that you will attract resources to yourself. Look at these guys. They're not even halfway perhaps to getting to the Dahi Handi. But because they've set themselves a goal which is that high, they will suddenly find that they're attracting people. There will be some old wise man who will come and say, hey, I'll tell you how to get there. There will be another team that will come to them and say, you guys are getting it wrong. Let's get it together. You may not be able to do it alone, but together we can perhaps break the Dahi Handi. And that's what happens in our lives. So just remember this. Make sure that your A, your ambition, is greater than your R, your resources. Lesson number 7. These Govindas, as they go from one Dahi Handi to another, they recognize that success in life is not just about reaching the destination. It's about enjoying the journey, about enjoying the ride. So between breaking one Dahi Handi and the next, these guys are singing songs, cracking jokes, having a blast. You can see the fun they're having. You can hear the laughter. You can sense the joy. They're all wearing similar t-shirts, but more important, they're all wearing similar big smiles on their faces. Never goes out of fashion. Great teams know that it's important for the team to have fun. Okay? Life can be tough. Work can be boring. The road ahead can seem long and hard, but great teams ensure that everyone is having fun. So make sure that you don't get so caught up in achieving a goal, in making a dream come true, that you forget to enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. And as you enjoy the journey, that brings me to really the last lesson, lesson number 8. Okay? In the Dahi Handi and in life, there are no prizes for almost getting there. Okay? Look at these fellows. Okay? They've done a fantastic job. This Dahi Handi is really high, and they've come up all the way, and they are almost there, but they haven't broken the pot. So what do they get? Nothing. The Dahi Handi folks know that there are no prizes for almost getting there. Great teams recognize this. Great teams begin to think like sports teams. So if you're a cricket team, it doesn't matter whether you lost the game by 100 runs or by 1 run. You still lost. Great teams don't try and fool themselves into believing, oh, but the goal was hard, it was so high, it was so difficult, but we tried our best, we came so close. None of that works. You've got to be a team that goes into every game believing you can win. You've got to go into every game wanting to win, thinking that you will win. Because when you do that, when you go into a game thinking you will win, wanting badly to win, you will give yourselves the best chance of becoming as good as you can be. You will not win every time, but you will ensure that you try your best, you play out of your skins, and you become the best you can be. At the end, isn't that what winning is all about? Becoming the best you can be. One wise man said, talent might win you games, but teamwork will win you championships. That is so true. Teams that will win in the future, businesses and organizations that will win in the future won't be the ones with the best talent or the most money or the latest technology. They will be the ones with the best teamwork. Teamwork will be the differentiator, both because it's so powerful and because it's so rare. So as you now go out and build your own winning teams, I hope that Dahi Handi will stay in somewhere at the back of your minds and inspire you to build your own winning teams. And there's one more thing I want you to remember. It's a lesson that I learned from my own Dahi Handi experience, and it's a lesson that kind of changed my life. And that is this. Some of the most powerful lessons in our lives are not to be found in classrooms or in textbooks or from professors or experts. Those lessons are to be found in our day-to-day lives, on the streets, from ordinary people. The best school in life, we sometimes forget, is life itself. The lessons are all out there. All we need to do is learn to look. Thank you.
Okay, guys, that's all for the day.